Elaborate on that video, on that audio, and explain that because some of them might not have heard it last time. What was going on? We'll start from there. Just y'all bear with us, folks. Just there's a lot of this information y'all need to be taking up tonight. So,
all right, well, I'll just start from right from the beginning of how that audio came in to be a thing. Ernie and another friend of mine, Chris, were at that time both. I considered them good friends. I've known Chris since I was like 6 or 7 years old. All the way back in first grade or so, and I've known Ernie for 20 years. Anyway, those they're very similar in one aspect, and that's the conspiracy theory type thing, and they're both will own that. I would think they would anyway. But Chris is a businessman, and he's been a very successful businessman. And he took out some kind of government loans they have, and the federal government is investigating him over it. So he thought Ernie had something to do with that, and I told him right up front I didn't think Ernie did have anything to do with that. I told him I didn't think Ernie was intelligent enough to even insert himself into something like that.
Right.
But that's where Chris's part comes in. Now, Chris never. Let me say this up front. Chris never offered murder for hire or money for anybody to kill Ernie Shell. I made that up. That's on me. And Ernie, his conspiracy stuff is, I've known him, like I said, for 20 years, and I've probably got between a dozen and 2 dozen messages and screenshots I could dig up that where Ernie is, claiming people are trying to kill him. There's a hit for me. There's people shooting at me, people chasing me, and everybody's seen his videos of dreaming up people chasing him down the road, wanting to kill him, hiding knives in his car. I mean, I just know that side of him, and I know, that that's a thing with him. So I thought, and Ernie's also money hungry. So I thought, because these two friends are at each other and arguing back and forth, and you tell this one that, and you tell that one that. Ernie said, I'm going to knock his teeth down his throat. Chris says he can be the FBI guy. He can be his cellmate or my teammate. They're just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And it's all through me. So I'm getting tired of it. So I made up a story. I called Ernie. And I told him, hey, man, Chris got a hit for you. He's trying to hire a hitman. I said, but he hasn't hired a hitman. He's trying to go through me, because I'm controlling it, right? I just want Ernie to think that, because then I'm thinking Ernie will say, you tell Chris that, he owes me money and blah, blah, blah. And we'll just forget about that, and I'll forget about this, and we'll just go our separate ways. That's what I was thinking was going to happen. Well, that's not what happened. So next day or so, I think it was the very next day, I'm called by the FBI. Special agent called me. I've still got the voicemail on my phone. There's a threat, for a pretty serious threat on somebody. I need you to come in and talk to me about it. So I set up an appointment, and I went in and talked to him about it. And I told him pretty much everything I just told you right here on this live video. And, I told him a lot of the backstory on Ernie that I knew, and, why I thought he would just go on. And, he said, well, I know all this, which he's an FBI agent and investigator, so I'm sure he does know it. I offered him my phone, offered him, whatever he wanted from me, even offered lie detector test. I'll do whatever. All he wanted to know when I left was is there a real threat on Ernie's life? And I said, no, sir. And that's it. There is none. There never was. And you just think about it, like, who is he? Like, he's a career criminal, a scam artist, and he wants to threaten people with slander and libel and defamation, but he's got a track record of scamming people for money and not delivering what he's promised.